Gottfried, we're talking about the issues at Sibos 2016 in Geneva. Clearly, I mean, correspondent banking, it's their conference in many ways. What do you see as the shape of the new correspondent banking business model?
I think correspondent banking is being reshaped by several forces, and you could almost argue going through a turning or inflection point right now. There is the Fintech challenge, other ways of doing cross-border payments that are faster and lower fees, especially at the low end. There is the whole compliance challenge of KYC and AML.
Because the correspondent banks have been hit really very hard by regulation, haven't they?
They have. Then there's a low interest rate environment, which really threatens the business model of holding deposits for customers. Cybersecurity, as we've discussed, so there are a number of forces that really are working on correspondent banking, and have the potential to reshape it fundamentally.
All right, and I think the authorities are starting to wake up to how important correspondent banking is, aren't they? So we have had reports of people, pulling out of different markets because they've regard them as too risky, and now we've got concerns at the IMF level, haven't we? So how are we going to revitalise this business and kind of make it ready for 20th century challenges?
We've been working hard to help our key constituents on that.
Yeah.
One thing is all our efforts around compliance feed in there as well. What are the tools that help you to avoid de-risking? Is more granular views on accounts through sanction screening, KYC databases, etc. That at least prevent you from cutting off whole segments or whole countries, but be more granular around it. The other big one for us is the Global Payments Innovation Initiative, GPII.
All right, and this makes
and that we should talk about.
And this makes payments faster, and you can track them, and you can see the fees with some clarity. Is that right?
Absolutely, that's what it's about. It's really about enhancing the customer experience in commercial payments, in correspondent banking by providing that. We have a proof of, it was conceived last year at Sibos, so less than a year. We met with a group of bankers, agreed on the outline of it, and put ourselves a challenge. We want to have something up and running by Sibos Geneva, which we now have. Proof of concept is running with a number of banks. We have, I think, over 75 banks signed up that represent together 70% of global payment flows. And we're set to go live with a more structural solution next year that really all these banks will adopt, and we think will fundamentally improve the experience for customers.
Okay, but what about the Fintech challenge? Because that's one you mentioned. Because you've still got small people who are able to kind of, navigate around all the things. They don't have the regulation problems and the sort of legacy systems of the banks. Will this keep the correspondent bankings competitive with those kinds of players, do you think?
That would be the idea. The idea is by reforming the existing network and the existing pipes in such a way you can stay competitive with these challenges, absolutely. And we made the choice, rather than design something completely new, let's reform the network that we have. It's very hard to start a new network and get all the network effects going. We think banks have a very good chance to improve the current system through an initiative like the GPII. Absolutely.
Okay. So let's turn now to a slightly different area, because obviously in the retail area you're seeing a lot of faster payments systems, and you at Swift have been very much involved with the new payments platform in Australia. So tell us about your role in that.
Well, we're designing that and developing it.
Right. Is that unique for you to do that kind of ground up?
No, we've done that. We do T2S. We've done. There are other projects like that we've done where we really help market infrastructures, as we call them, with a network and an application solution. But it is new to do it in the context of domestic real times. This was the first one for real-time payments in a domestic setting. Also unique because we went for a distributed model where the banks communicate directly with each other and then settle through the central bank at the end of the day. That one is in full swing in development, all set to go live next year in Australia. So that really put us in there in a new architecture and a new field. And at the same time, we're looking whether we can apply this same solution in other spaces, because there's a lot of discussion going on a lot of initiatives going on real-time payments. Absolutely.
All right, I'm sure there'll be lots of people interested in hiring you at Sibos.